Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. Yes, indeed, folks, we are filming this from a different location, and it's basically because of some of your requests. Many of you have said, Matt, we kind of like it when you talk about other things that's a little bit non-standard for you, where you're talking about fixing things and stuff like that, and about general life thoughts. So could you do a video on something completely different? Well, here you go. It is a cold day in Iowa. We've had a cold rain falling. That's okay though, because I don't have to shovel rain. But that's why I'm also in the garage. And I'm here to talk about one of my things that's kind of sort of important to me, which is maintaining a car and getting really good gas mileage, which is something that a lot of people, they don't pay much attention to. So the car behind me here is a 2006 Honda Civic. Now, I apologize for the clutter in my garage, but hey, it's a garage, right? So this is a 2006 Honda Civic. It has close to 160,000 miles. Yes, you heard that right, 160,000 miles on this car. I do a lot of commuting back and forth to work every day. And so a big thing for me is safety, reliability, and as good of gas mileage as I can possibly get out of this car. There are a lot of people out there that'll say, well, why are you driving something that old? Well, one thing is quite simply cost. I know people that have high-end trucks, SUVs, and they're saddled with car payments that are $700 or more a month. I cannot afford that, let alone put gas into them. So that's why I have something like this. This car is paid for. It doesn't owe me anything. I just simply have to do regular maintenance on it. So let's talk about that and how you might be able to improve your gas mileage even a little bit. Now, through the magic of this phone, I'm going to do kind of a flip-flop with the video right now and show you a couple of different things. So please bear with me as I just go ahead and do this thing on the fly. One big thing for me is maintaining this engine bay. So as you can see here, this Honda Civic has got a 4-cylinder engine, and a couple of big things for me when it comes to maintenance. Well, that was really good. Replacing the air filter on a very regular basis, making sure that this is clean, that it's getting unrestricted, healthy air into it. Second thing a lot of folks don't think about is on a car of this age, the O2 sensors. There's one here, and then there's one farther down in there. You might be able to see that little pigtail going down into it. But a big one that can actually get you on gas mileage that a lot of folks don't think about is this little guy right here, spark plug. This I recently took out of the car. Now for a lot of people, let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. For a lot of folks, they're like, I don't see much of a problem with that. But actually, this was robbing me of gas mileage on the car. So let's come back here. And a very simple way of replacing this, especially on the Hondas, is you remove this nut right here, pull out these coil packs after you have disconnected the wiring harness. So the wiring harness gets disconnected right here, so it's removing this. Coil pack pops out, then you use a deep-seated standard spark plug wrench, remove the spark plugs. And so basically, I went through this, I replaced them, and I picked up an extra couple of miles per gallon. Other things that have been done to this car, unfortunately, in the last 12 months, the starter did go out of it, so that was kind of a bummer. But it is what it is, right? And then serpentine belt had to be replaced. But when it comes to how much money this car cost me to maintain in the last year, especially considering how much I drive it, overall, I put new brakes on it. And the great thing is I happen to know a guy that actually works on these cars out at his farm. He has a dealership and a repair place on his farm. And so what he does is nothing but work on JDM cars, which is Japanese domestic manufacture. So this guy's working on Hondas, Toyotas, things like that all the time. Managed to get all 4 brakes done, which included rotors and new pads, for $300. You can't do that at a dealership. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg to do it. Would I rather be able to do it, here myself? Sure. But as you can see, my garage is kind of sort of on the cramped side. So for gas mileage and everything else, maybe this thing cost me, well, including starter, I want to say maybe $1,200 last year. $1,200 in the last year, which equates to $100 a month. Now that's a lot cheaper than paying buku bucks for a car payment, at least, in my book. So the main thing for me is just maintaining it. And something that is real simple when it comes to maintenance is tire pressure. And that's something that a lot of folks don't check. You need to check your tire pressure. Having this particular tire pressure gauge can save you a lot of money, especially if you live in northern climates where there are wild temperature swings. Checking that tire pressure can do a couple things. A, it can help to improve your gas mileage a lot. B, it can help to prevent you from being stuck on the side of the road because you had a tire that went flat and you didn't catch it because it had a slow leak. So this gauge right here helps me out a lot. My favorite gauge that I use is this one here, and this basically has a larger face on it, kind of like a clock, and I check tire pressures at least twice a week, because one day I happened to have a slow leak that had developed, and I kept monitoring it, and I was losing a few pounds per day out of the tire, and what it was a problem with the rim. So simply fix that and we're good to go one more time. But this, on the highway, I can get 30 miles per gallon, which works out great for me. 30 miles per gallon, this age of car, I'm really happy with that. And like I said, the car does not owe me anything. I'm not making monthly payments on it. So I just simply change the oil on a very regular basis. I don't do anything fancy with the oil. I stick with the original oil that this thing was designed for. I don't use synthetic in it whatsoever. So an oil change for me is pretty straightforward. This has an automatic transmission. And so on this, I don't do an automatic transmission flush. I just simply drain the automatic transmission fluid and replace it. And it keeps everything happy. So far, so good. Cosmetically, is there a little bit of rust developing on it? Yeah, there is. But it's only in one section. Otherwise, the body, and I'll show you the body right now through this, the body's in good shape. Overall, that body is in really, really decent shape. But it all comes back to what? Keeping it clean. So if you keep it clean, that helps to preserve the car. And for me, it's important. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. I know I've taken up probably about 9-10 minutes of your time, and these are Matt's tips for getting higher gas mileage. A, check your tire pressure. B, change those plugs occasionally. C, make sure that it can breathe properly by having a clean air filter. A lot of this you can do on your own, and you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get her done. So anyway, hope this helps, and hey, thanks for asking for something different. Anyhow, we'll talk to you later, and until next time, everybody, be safe out there and have a good one.